more fun he has when we take the photo at the end of it all and stuff like that. So yeah, tier 3 sub gets a Rifkin decoration. A tier 3 sub counts as 6 subs, should be 6. And in general, we only do 1 sub per, 1 decoration per person. I mean, it's already full doing 1 decoration per person. If someone got a new sub, a new decoration every time they donated $5, it would be a little bit crazy. Bottom left hand side, our blue Zerg player. This is Reynor. And to the top right hand side, our red Terran from O Gaming is MarineLorD, who's 1 and 2 in the group, and this is the first time seeing Reynor today. Excited to see how he will do as we go into this. Would he? No, it wouldn't. You would just need multiple trees. Aye, aye, aye. This is a command center first, coming down here from MarineLorD, so makes him very safe against, for example, the pool first here from Reynor. So MarineLorD going into the CC first completely nullifies the pool first. It's actually funny how it works. You'd think, well, if that's a command center, surely the pool first should punish that more. But obviously, the idea of this pool first is to delay the, expansion. And if this expansion is actually finished faster, you're not going to be able to chase this SCV around or anything like that. So this is actually a really good build from MarineLorD to be able to finish that command center and actually puts him into a little bit of a strong spot. So nicely done. Dvorak comes in with the 9-month resub and says Twitch baby time. Okay, but only if you name it. Thank you so much, Dvorak, for the 9 months. Thank you for continuing to come back and being a part of the team. It's great to have you, dude. Thank you for continuing to support. Cheese Christ comes in with the Twitch Prime sub as well. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Really do appreciate it, Cheese Christ. Welcome to the Woody family. Well, it's just going to be sat up top as you see that SCV coming over. Lost to Clem and dropped out of Home Story Cup after doing amazing in the group stages. And I don't think you can really blame Reynor for losing out in Home Story Cup. He lost to Uthermal, who is doing very well in TVZ right now. And he lost to Kua, who is like one of the top level Korean Terran players. Somebody is lagging out. It's Reynor. What can do about it if one of the players disconnects. SCV's coming in and starting to fight against those Lings. And the Ling is obviously actually getting quite a lot of damage done here. But in the end, with the CC first, there's no delay, and I think this is pretty okay for MarineLorD. Feel like your channel is doing well, but you don't know the inside workings? My channel is doing well. I'm not going to lie or, big up like, oh my god, I can't afford to live. My channel is doing well, but, I put it this way. If my channel was doing this well, and I was just a regular kind of streamer that just kind of, turns the stream on, ladders StarCraft, etc. All good. I'd be very happy. I'd be doing very well. I'd be making quite a fair amount of money. I'd be very happy. Because I have to put a lot of money into events to be able to run them. For example, in the last, I actually just tallied it up this year, just a few days ago. I have put in over $9,000 of prize money into StarCraft events this year. So when you start considering it like that, suddenly I'm $9,000 down in a year compared to any other streamer who has a stream as successful as mine. And $9,000 is kind of a lot, right? Usually I make about $10,000 of donations in a year, so we're talking about potentially all of my donations being gone. Say that I hang around on like 400 subs. I mean, 400 subs is roughly $9,000 in terms of like hanging around my sub count. It's basically it's 8 months of my sub count in a year. So yeah, I mean it's not an issue with the stream, don't get me wrong. It's how the stream works, and we do have ad revenue that other streamers maybe don't have, but it is money that I miss out on compared to kind of how you see this. Again, the stream does well, but there is background costs. There is other things that other streamers don't have to pay. And that's one of the bigger issues, and why I do push subscribing and selling out a little bit, and why we do have to run adverts to make up for putting money into these tournaments and stuff like that. So, anyways, with that said, Do you see a couple of Marines and a couple of Hellions roasting a couple more Zerglings there as Hellions from MarineLorD down on the bottom side. That feeling when it's Tuesday and you miss Marvelous Monday. There was no marbles yesterday anyways, Chicken Man, because I was casting on Base Trade TV, so I wasn't able to stream any marbles yesterday. I was trying to find some time to do it, but I've just been so busy with double streams and stuff, just wasn't able to. Battlecruiser on the way out from MarineLorD. Obviously, it's been a bit of a weird start with the fact it was pool first, a CC first too. He will kill this Overlord, then teleport across the map generally to see what he can get done. There is no Spore Crawler in the main, so if he just goes for it... Ah, he's not going for it. Man, there's no Spore Crawlers. Oh, man, with the Hellions as well. Generally, the Hellions... Okay, now comes the Hellbats. Now he teleports in. Where does he teleport to? Natural third base? No, he just teleports on top of the Queens. I feel like he would do so well if he just jumped into the main. I mean, jumping on top of the Queens here... I guess it will add to the fight, but obviously now it's in some trouble. The Queens are starting to go down. Lings continue to take damage. Queen's in some trouble as well. Hellbats continue to fight here. Queen pulls away, and again, the Battlecruiser staying alive. This is actually starting to work out, I think, for MarineLorD. See those Hellbats coming in, those couple of Queens in some trouble here. That Queen being roasted at the moment. More Zerglings running over, and they are going to try and deal some damage to clean this up. We still have the Battlecruiser on the map and haven't seen the Spore Crawler being taken down. Sorry, the Queen's taken down. It's going to be difficult for just Spores to defend this because obviously they have stationary defense. They can't always be in the right place where that BC can move around quite a bit and shoot while doing so. Hellions there roasting away a few more Zerglings. SCVs will transfer down to the third base as well. More and more Battlecruisers on the way up, by the way. After the first one, he'd already started a second, so there is two on the map, and that one's actually already teleported across. 4 workers killed. He might have kind of went down, I guess, on the Queen. Otherwise, I would imagine he would have killed the Spore Crawler. That Queen there gets taken down. Another Queen being shot down too, and Reynor is already in so much trouble here in game number 1. And Hellbats with these BCs are just so deadly, and that's the big issue. Like, a lot of the time, if you can just put all of your Queens right-click on a Battlecruiser with the Spores, it doesn't actually do that much. When you have 12 Hellions slash Hellbats as well, you have to either position the Queens to deflect the Hellions, or just have other units too, and Reynor just was not quite prepared enough for this. I mean, again, obviously not a great situation in DCs during the game, and maybe that affects him a little bit, maybe it throws him off a bit. That is genuinely something that can happen quite, and does happen quite a lot. You know, you DC from a game, and the DC kind of throws you off a little bit, so maybe we can pin it up to that, but, you know, he just really wasn't... I don't know if underprepared is even the word, though, because it didn't feel like he was underprepared, did it? You all kind of see the first 2 Queens are just going to go down instantly. Because he had Banes. He had the Queens in position where the BC teleported in. He just felt like he didn't have enough. And, well, right now, I mean, more drones are going down, and, well, the Overlords are going to drop. Reynor is losing so much. I mean, these are hundreds of minerals at a time that he's losing. This hatchery is going to be an issue as well if he picks that off. I mean, there's just no wrongdoing right now from MarineLorD. Well, okay, there you go. The Lings sneak into the natural, and that is the best thing Reynor's going to have to happen here. I mean, what's it going to be? 2, 3 workers? If that, 2 workers. Oh, and not even quite a Hellion. If that's all Reynor can find, it's not enough. Okay, some more Hellions run in, but there's already Hellbats nearby. There's a Battlecruiser overhead. These BCs are still across the map, dealing damage. Yamato will be off cooldown in 20 or 30 seconds as that hatchery continues to fall. Pure Lings are just not going to make this work. Another BC teleports over. 2 BCs teleport over. Reynor's not even going to wait for it as GG is called. MarineLorD picks up game 1 of the series. So a little bit of a delay during that game, guys, because of the disconnect again. Sorry, there's really nothing we can do about that. But we will get straight into game number 2 and keep this action rolling for you guys. Oh, well, there you go. 1 minute ago. Literally, who just asked about the Casters Invitational? Here you go. The Clash Casters Invitational has just been announced. You asked the question, when the next Casters Invitational comes around? You better, yeah, I was thinking to myself, well, kind of really, really soon. Like, really soon. So there you go. It's literally was announced a minute ago. So, boom. Brilliant. So yeah, there you go. Really fun. I'm in a group of Jim Ryzen, In Control, and Fear Dragon. I feel like I'm going to get absolutely stomped. But we'll see. Alright, guys. We're just waiting for our players to host up game number 2, and we'll be off and away into this. Who was it that asked about the Casters Invitational? I forgot who it was. Was it Johnny? Johnny XII12? There you go. Literally. You're like reading the future. Here you go. I'm going to tag Johnny in it because I'm actually amazed that he asked it so well timed. There you go. Is Harstom really a caster? Harstom's casting the tournament. Harstom is casting the tournament with Todd. We got pretty cool artwork done for us all as well. It's pretty sick actually, so do check it out. It's awesome. Although I do feel like on the overhead banner, like they could have probably put the names above everyone's faces. I've got Todd's name on my head. Ay ay ay. We are just missing Naruto from here and we'll get this going. Wardy, it's funny that a lot of them have war paints on, but you don't. Yeah, I actually, I thought this as well. Like, literally everyone has war paint on apart from me, Roddy, Funker. I mean, there's a couple that don't. A lot of them are, like, all dressed up for war and stuff, and I'm just chilling in my, like, t-shirt. I'm just like, yeah, guys, what's up? It's great, like, they all have, like, these, like, battle outfits on and stuff like this and all of that. And I'm literally just like, yeah, I'm ready for battle without any armor, without any face paint and all of this. You know? So, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know if they've announced it all. Maybe I shouldn't talk about it. But basically, those images are going to be in-game portraits. So you're going to be able to purchase those to support the tournament, and they'll also support, me as well. So there you go. It's going to be really cool. You're going to be able to buy the in-game portraits of all the casters and stuff like that. It'll be a lot of fun. Do check it out. The Clash Casters Invitational with an offline finals as well, by the way. Finals offline in Italy. Anyways, top right-hand side, our red Terran player. This is MarineLorD from O Gaming. And to the bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg is Reynor. Currently teamless. And about to go up against the Proxy Rax. But he'll open pool first. So already a small little win from Reynor in these early stages. This is only 2 racks from MarineLorD though, so more of a pressure play than the all-in that we saw him doing against Denver, which was with all 3 of the barracks. It's actually pretty cool, the Casters tournament. We've got like a cool logo and everything for it. It's really sick. Like, the whole thing is really, really sick. Dun, dun. But yeah, I think it's next week you can start purchasing the in-game portraits and stuff like that. It's really cool. Anyways, we do see an orbital on the way up here from MarineLorD, so getting that going. There's another depot going to come down as well. We need to pull Clash Reynor or Liquid Reynor. It'll be interesting to see who he joins, but he will have a team. It's almost certain. There's a few Marines on the way up. A couple of SCVs gathering up as well, and they are going to start pushing forwards into the natural expansion. Zerglings going up the left-hand side from Reynor, as we are going to see the Marines and the SCVs going to be showing up, and the bunker dropping down on the natural. So bunker dropping down on the natural here, and getting that rolling again. Those few Marines going to press forwards, and again, Zerglings from Reynor coming up to the top right. So, Ling is on the counter-attack. I mean, the factory's already on the way up, though, so all this really does is pull SCVs off to repair the supply depots over time, right? Meanwhile, Reynor is going to have 6 less Zerglings to try and stop these bunkers. He wasn't able to apply any pressure to the bunkers coming up initially. As we are going to be seeing the couple of Lings continue to take damage, so a couple of them going down. Again, going to be seeing those Queens continue to come forwards, and another bunker finishing up to the side. Queen throws down another inject here, and again, Marines keeping on working on that natural hatchery. That will drop as these broodlings are going to get taken down as well. Spinecrawler here to the top side, going to take some damage, and Marine's just going to jump back into the bunker too, and in general, everything looking pretty good. Again, the Hellions about to pop out, so those lings on the counterattack won't do much. Losing your hatchery against the 2-racks is really, really painful. And Reynor might be on the verge of losing his first series here today. Marines pop out, and they will go for that spine. Transfuse must be available. Is there no transfuse on these queens? Wow. Free energy ray. Oh, it's ready just now. Okay. But I mean, the damage done is already pretty insane. Marines pop out of the other bunker to try and come forwards, and just going in and out outside of the Spinecrawler shots to slowly take this down. That micro is intensive, but it does work, and it will slowly whittle away at the spines. Lings are here ready to start breaking. There's a Hellion brought across as well, though. Just look at this on the slow Zerglings. Getting some good damage done. Again, MarineLorD is back to just dealing damage where he can against those spines. The queens ready to run in as well. Honestly, the Hellion against the Lings could do masses of damage here. Just get a good couple of shots off. Could go a huge, huge way. A medevac and more Hellions being made as well, so you can bypass the spine crawlers and maybe get some damage done towards the main base. With Ling speed so late from Reynor, it's very unlikely that you'll be having a good time defending any sort of Hellion base pressure, as we see a Baneling Nest coming down as well. So Reynor's just going to go for a completely committed kind of counter Bling Bane bust. Well, with Hellions on the way out, that doesn't generally bode super well, I would say, but there's some potential. As you see the Lings coming down here, there's a second bunker still to be killed off, though. And the Spines are in range of that second bunker, so it's going to cost Reynor so many Zerglings. The Spines will burrow up down on the low ground. The bunker killing off all of those Lings. Wow, that's crazy. All of the Zerglings go down. Suddenly, the Baneling Nest, I mean, he cancels the Baneling Nest, Reynor, realizing that he's not going to be able to actually Ling Bane Burst because he has no Zerglings left. Oh, man. MarineLorD looking to put himself at a 2-2 scoreline in this group. We will have seen all of MarineLorD's games after this one, but we do have a lot more matches still to watch as well, guys. We're going to be seeing a whole bunch of games from Denver, Reynor, Mana, and Scion. Those 4 players still have matches left to play to figure out how this Group C is going to end up looking. 4 Marines of MarineLorD already heading towards the upper right side. As a few Lings run over Hellions here, right away able to pick up a couple kills without much issue. Barracks of MarineLorD lands down to the 3rd base just in case Reynor tries to double expand. Now he'd be forced to expand in a forward position, which is never really favorable for a Zerg expanding towards the Terran player. As we are going to be seeing the Overlord in the main. That'll get picked off too. Something else Reynor has to put money back into replacing. So Banshee, Hellions, Marines moving across. I mean, this medevac with Hellions as well looks like he just poked to the front, which maybe went in towards the main base and those queens here. I mean, if your opponent's only on 2 bases, it is going to be difficult to find further damage, but, I mean, armor on the way up, so there's going to be Hellbat Banshee soon, and I kind of feel, though, with the couple of spines at the front, it still makes it difficult to really kind of push forward with any sort of aggression here. Banshee is about to have Cloak, and there is a Spore Crawler, but it isn't right in the front, so we'll be able to force a Transfuse or 2 onto these spines once again. Drop that Transfuse instantly so the heal over time gets as much value as it can. And the Transfuse could go down and keep it alive. The heal over time stopped now, so again, you get full value out of this as Queen's going to Transfuse each other too. Okay, I mean, just waiting for the Hellbats though. I mean, this is going to be really deadly. And even the Banshee just in the main base picking off a couple of Zerglings, right? Every single unit that goes down is one less little something for Reynor to try and defend. As obviously MarineLorD is very ready for this in the next few moments. Hellbats should be getting set to morph in. Iraq's still down the bottom side. There's another Banshee coming over. And here we go. The big attack that Reynor has to try and hold off and hold off here. But it's going to be so tough. The Lings are going to be busy over there actually dealing with the barracks. MarineLorD actually brings his units over there towards the Lings for a moment. Interesting. Obviously, MarineLorD doesn't have to win the game with this push. He sets up a full wall off here. He's got more Hellions at home too. He does not have to win the game with this push, but the more he delays his opponent, the better it's going to be for him. And that seems to be his idea, just kind of threatening, forcing more units. He moves the Hellbats back to Hellions. I actually like the maturity of MarineLorD's decision not to just dive in and try and end this right now. But instead, just setting up to kind of keep himself in the lead moving forwards, basically, as we see a couple of drones going down. Banshees there were ready to pick off a couple of bits and pieces there too, as we see the Hellions with the Marines as well. This is just a dead 3rd base right away. It has to be cancelled pretty much instantly +1 vehicle play and his extra factories are very late to come into the play, but when they do come down, that'll be for some Cyclones. And they are going to be, I mean, we've seen this Hellion or Hellbat Cyclone style a lot lately. It's very, very good. Hellions still sat out in the centers, these Zerglings. For a moment from Reynor, we're starting to head in towards the upper right side. We do see the other Hellions coming across as well. Grabs a Zergling there on the back end of that. 2 Banshees into the main base are starting to go after Queen, starting for a little bit of damage there. Drones being picked off as well. Banshee's just, again, so annoying. And that Queen taking a lot of hits, has to be very careful. Another drone goes down. Again. Hellions moving out towards the upper right. Ooh, Lings get in. Reynor's given an opportunity to maybe potentially get back in this, but then the SCV's pulled away so quickly that it's going to be very minimal damage. 2 workers killed so far. Really not that much at all, is it? As we see those Hellions coming through too. All of those Lings go down. Wow, I mean, okay. Not that crazy in the end, was it? Needs some Cyclones so you can actually clean up this Overlord over here. Is there a Marine? Okay, there's a few Marines, so they can go and get that Overlord. MarineLorD has still only lost so little this game. 2 Hellions, 5 SCVs, 5 Marines. Resources lost. About half that of the Zerg player. And obviously Reynor lost that early hatchery as well. That was a big portion of that. And a big reason why it was going to be a struggle for him getting back into the game from that point anyways. We're just pushing those Hellions back a little bit again. Little Banshees coming across over the left. A couple of Marines wandering around too. Tunneling Claws coming down on the Roach Roar, and there's the Burrow upgrade as well. And again, Banshees, Hellions, all pushing down and into position. Reynor is valiantly trying to hold on, but I'm concerned that the fact that, you know, he's down on supply and the majority of it is Roaches. Walker is getting taken down there right away. Continue pushing up, and again, the Hellions on their own aren't going to do great. MarineLorD actually went in towards siege tanks here. I did think it was going to be those Cyclones, but maybe he just figured it was coming in too late, so he wouldn't be able to apply enough pressure. So going into siege tanks instead, I mean, it's still going to be a very large mech army, with how far Reynor is behind you at the moment. She's still up in the sky as a Marine pressing forwards, picks off a creep tier, and again, just going to be seeing the Roaches showing up, picking off a Marine. That's the thing, with this amount of Banshees, you move forwards anywhere on the map, and these Banshees are going to get kills. Hellions, you have to be careful. The tunneling claws from Reynor could be a way for him to get back into this. It's one of the slowest deaths of a Zerg player I've ever seen. Good position of the Queens there, and the Roach is popping up to get a few Hellion kills. Reynor is getting little bits and pieces of damage that will slowly but surely start to claw him back into this game and into this series, perhaps. It's a long upward hill, but I mean, again, good is the good and correct move so far, I would say. Issue is MarineLorD is just without issue going up to 4, 5 bases here. Even this base here kind of acts as a 6 on these rocks. Once they go down, this gold base can be mined, even if he doesn't get the gas from it. Neural Parasite coming up right now from Reynor. I should get the bot that some people have on their streams. Which one's loading? Macfield Accelerator finally coming in, so he does now start to introduce some Cyclones. Maybe he was just afraid of dying without any tanks there initially or something like that. Roach gets picked off, and again, Banshee's going to keep pressing forward. We do see the Ravagers. I mean, again, that's the issue. As soon as Reynor moves forward, the Banshees will punish and gets a couple of kills. MarineLorD with his whole army, though, I mean, time is kind of ticking out of time. Taking out of time for Reynor. Let's see what he can do, as the tanks are going to do a great job here. There's no true anti-air. Still waiting for Neural Parasite. Hellbat's continuing to press forwards. A couple of tanks continue coming up as well. Getting sieged. Changeling's going to get picked off too. Again, we do have the Infestors from Reynor. Just sat off over to the side. Ready to come forward. Spire in the back of the natural. Reynor is about to have the Spire, but I'm pretty sure the intention of that was to try and get Broodlords up more so than anything else. Infestors are going to probably drop... I mean, can they Neural? Neurals or Infested Terrans? I mean, Neurals could be good if they get all the tanks and deal some damage. Here we go. The tanks are going to be friendly fire each other here. The Hellbats take a lot of damage as well, so it's kind of down to the Banshees. Kills the Infestors, which is needed. Means that the tanks come out of that mind control nice and quickly. Reynor cleans this up with the Neural Parasite play. Roaches of Reynor going to move across towards the upper right-hand side again. Tanks and Hellbats going to have to come in to defend. Reynor is kind of making this work. MarineLorD will be able to deflect, and again, the Banshees were dealt with. That's still an issue, but now Corruptor's coming up. Close to Bow's actually picking off a Hellbat. MarineLorD obviously wants to keep on going here. Realizing there's a lot of units up for grabs. He gets a bunch of Ravager kills. This is really, really expensive losses at the moment for Reynor. So Corruptors to turn this away. How is Reynor making this game go on for so long after it was really, truly over so much earlier? Great Spire on the way up. Broodlords are about to become an issue, and MarineLorD is beginning to find himself in a whole new position in this game, which I don't think he was ever expecting himself to be in. Has to drop Autotos to try and deflect the Corruptors. It will keep the Raven alive. As these Corruptors are going to move over, there is missile turrets around, so there's not going to be any real successful 4-stick sprays or anything. Missile turrets are absolute saviors at the moment, as we do see 5 Vikings now being made at a time. Broodlords are getting ready to morph in. Reynor coming to the top side with the Roaches, the couple of Ravagers, the money in his bank is so he can utilize the, or get the Broodlords up on the map. I want to try and deny this space. I mean, the less space on the map for MarineLorD, the better, right? Will he be able to kill it in time? A few more Roaches showing up means that he probably will get this. However, units are moving over to at least try and save the SCVs, and the SCVs will be kept alive. Knocking down some of these rocks and just opening up a little bit of a pathway here. So all of those rocks going down does mean that that gold base is mineable from this side, but he can also throw down CC over here as well if he wants. Still expanding top left as well. That's something that Reynor wasn't able to deal with while he was dealing with that Banshee Fortress nearby. Gorgeous picking up again another few rocks. Banshee showing up, so this gold base is not going to have the best of time here for Reynor, who is maxed out. No Infestors, but in fairness, I feel like the Infestors were very much so kind of like a one-time thing. Like, I'll catch you once, but probably not again. The Raven will obviously help as well. So it worked out, right? It really turned the fight on its head and gave Reynor a chance in the game. The question is Reynor able to still find a way to truly be in this? Or was it just that one moment? We're just all the way up to the top side, and well, I mean, that CC's could just lift, right? So he's not going to worry with that. Wants to get across and really deal damage, especially because the pressure is on. Here come the Broodlings. There is a good amount of Corruptors and Queens here to keep these Broodlords alive. Anti-armor missile will help a lot. The Vikings and the Corruptors going up against each other. It feels like the Corruptor count is starting to wane, but the Vikings still taking some damage too. We have a pushback here as the Banshees are actually putting in real damage, and these Queens are really being low in number because of it. Broods are pushing forward. They need to pull back. More Corruptors needed. On the other side of the map, though, Roaches find themselves 17 SCVs, and they're going to get a lot of reinforcements here. If Reynor's paying attention, boom, that's 2 siege tanks. Those are very good pickups, and he gets 2 of them right away there. With more SCVs going down, MarineLorD is going to pull away from Reynor's side of the map, and Reynor continues to hold on Automaton. He did lose the base down here, though. That's something to keep in mind, but pushing his opponent back, staying alive, these are all things which I didn't think we were going to see Reynor doing again in this series. And now he has MarineLorD down on 38 SCVs and really, really hurting. Banshee Fortress in the top left-hand side as well as SCVs continue to mine. Vikings out into the center, and we do see on the far right-hand side some Zerglings moving around as well. Reynor is starting to make this happen, guys. He's starting to make this a reality as those Roaches, again, setting off. We do see the Vikings all in the center of the map, moving around too. The extra Broodlord still coming into play. The +1 Myth Flyer attack about to finish up on that Greater Spire. Again, 2 more Ravens still being built here. The Viking on its way out as well. Was he ever that far behind, since the all-in at the start didn't win? Isn't it relatively equal? The thing is, MarineLorD did a 2-racks. A 2-racks is not an all-in, it's just pressure, and the 2-racks transitions very easily. Usually if you kill the hatchery with a 2-racks, you are massively way and far ahead. So MarineLorD was very far ahead in this game. His follow-up attacks were deflected, but they killed a lot of queens, and they did a lot of damage. Reynor was very dead, honestly. He was very far behind for a lot of this game. The point where the Neural Parasites came down, that was a turning point, because without those Neurals, Reynor probably dies then and there. With the Neurals, we end up in this position we're in now, which is that Reynor is still in with a fighting chance, although being kept down on 4 bases is going to hurt. And you see these Vikings flying forwards, gets the Raven. I think it's counter-attacking, forcing this gold base to lift off. And these Corruptors are still trying to chase down those Vikings. With anti-armor missile on, they're taking quite a lot of damage. And the Viking count is getting low. The Corruptors pull off to the side there for a moment. Reynor and MarineLorD down on 160 to 140 supplies. Reynor doesn't have that much gas because he's being limited to 4 bases. It means that MarineLorD is in a position that he's really just a little bit, MarineLorD's kind of still okay, he's still mining, but Reynor has not got any sort of gas mining. So you can only really build lings and queens. I know queens are great, but they're not going to carry this game on their own. This ling's getting dealt with. MarineLorD will be able to mine the gas on this base once again. Top left-hand side base. I don't know if Reynor's ever actually seen that. He hasn't. And that's one of the things that's really keeping MarineLorD in this, to the point of reaching that 20-minute in-game timer. Vikings actually going to find these Broodlords out on their own. The Corruptor's a bit out of position. Anti-armor missile coming through, but it doesn't hit the Corruptors. Now it will. It definitely helps and is so important here. The Queen's coming over too. They will have a chance to drop some transfusions here. Try and help out. A couple of Viper Abducts to help out with the Viking count as well. The Viking count is very low. Only 4 for a moment there, but there's been 6 made at a time. That's a lot. Druid's got the chance to come forwards though, and MarineLorD really needs to push this back right here, and that's what those extra Vikings are going to do. Such a great job as transfusions come in though. Another Brood and another Corruptor starting to show up. This fight continues. The Corruptors come in, they get themselves the Ravens. Now the Vikings are the main contenders. There is some Cyclones here, but they're being dealt with by the Broodlords actually. So they're not going to help enough as these Broods are still overhead. Now the tanks have to unsiege. The Corruptors win out in the skies. And MarineLorD will start to add on a couple of 4s. And Reynor, in his first series today, is fighting and scrapping for his life. But he is just about hanging in there. Absolutely crazy game number 2 here. As you see those Corruptors continue to chase those Vikings away towards the upper right side. Coming back over here now, we're going to be seeing that Orbital Command in some trouble as well. It will land down, and it will be able to be repaired now. As again, those Broodlords though are still going crazy, just firing away on that planetary force, coming forwards again, picking off another Viking. A job very well done, as we're going to be seeing this Orbital has to lift up into the skies. Vikings still doing what they can out in the center. These Hellbats and tanks are maybe going to go counter-attack. Reynor realizes this, pulls his Corruptors, Broods away, sorry, to maybe go and deal with it, or to go attack elsewhere. We'll see soon. I think he's just on his way to go and deal with that, because he has nothing on the ground. He's only just now started to rebuild Roaches. Corruptors will come in, chasing down this Orbital. MarineLorD feels like he's hurt, because he will lose these units, albeit he will be after he deals quite a lot of damage. He'll find a hatchery. He'll find a good amount of drones. Broods will come in now and start to clean these out. He does need the kills, though. If these tanks get away, it'll be frustrating as well, especially as he's rebuilding Roaches. The more tank kills he gets, the better this scenario becomes from Reynor again. Again, tanks up top as we do see these Broods, Roaches moving around. 23 minutes. A game I thought was going to end at about 5, survived to 10, got drawn to 15, and then it turned on its head. And now we're 23 minutes into a really crazy game. MarineLorD, I don't know if he should have attacked sooner, if he was too passive with his initial mech. He gave Reynor a chance with those Festers. Reynor's gamble paid off, and now Reynor is doing everything right, because he is, Reynor is really struggling to deal with the amount of air units that Reynor was able to come up with, the amount of Corruptors and so on. Vikings coming over here, these Corruptors need to get out there. That's a lot of Corruptors going down for free. I mean, this base will not die. Reynor sees that a little bit too late, but he is attacking with Roaches, will kill this planetary forest, so that's another big portion of the economy. suddenly being shut down. If you could get this gold base, that'd be great as well. Obviously, that one could lift, though. These roaches are pushed away. More roaches on the way out. Is he just fully into... And he's just producing roaches. He is not rebuilding Corruptors. Maybe he just says with 18 Vikings out, there's just too much, and that his ground army can win this out on its own. Burrows to go underneath these tanks, get on top without taking damage. The Vikings are going to land as well, though. Backs away up to the top side here as MarineLorD will kill off a bunch of these roaches. Very nicely done. Well, the tanks will siege up, and we do see again these Vikings moving forwards. The Queen's able to push them away. The 4 starts to pick off this gold base of Reynor now, and every base for all of these players is so important. The scanner is there, so these tanks will do a lot of damage. Roaches have to back away. Suddenly Reynor's army's not looking so hot anymore. The roaches haven't really done much, and obviously didn't rebuild Corruptor, so the broods are just kind of hanging back, hoping that at some point these Vikings just kind of fall over and die. And the broods are still in the game, but it's hard for them to really be effective when these Vikings are just in such high numbers. Another missile turret comes down as the slow push from MarineLorD develops here. Some Liberators being brought into play as well. Tell you what, if there's only really Queens to deal with this, this is going to start getting rid of a lot of the Queens very quickly here. The Vikings go into the Broodlords. Reynor does not really have what he needs to take this down. I mean, he might win on the ground, I guess. Okay. I mean, he does have what he needs to take down the ground army, but not in the air. Well, I don't even know then. What happens now? Tanks siege up and kill the roaches as they run in, perhaps? I really don't know. This game is just bonkers. I mean, obviously this air army is never going to be used again in the skies for MarineLorD. He's killed the Broodlords now, so you can land this and use this as a way to fight. On the top left side, this one Corruptor is still just trying to kill this base. It's been added for such a long time. And it's just still continually trying to come into play here. Vikings and a Raven out in the center. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what the Vikings Raven end up doing. We see these tanks are in siege. The Liberator will siege up. I guess that's the issue, right? There's nothing to really deal with Liberators here. Maybe Ravagers? Well, Vikings will land because the roaches come in from all angles. Obviously, the tanks were not sieged going into this fight. So MarineLorD will start to lose out on units once again. Roaches will clean up. The Vikings lift into the skies. Reynor's Roach army has still got enough to press on forwards. We've seen the Roaches here taking a few shots from the one sieged up tank. They may be able to start cleaning this up, but there's the Liberators as well. They'll get a few kills here as these Roaches escape up to the top side. I mean, the issue with the Liberators is, yes, they can't really be killed at the moment, but they also have to re-siege every single time you want them to be able to do damage. And so, realistically, that's just not kind of happening as we see those Cyclones picking off another couple of Roaches. And that Cyclone continue to chase, gets another Roach kill right on the end there. If this Corruptor got points for trying, he would be able to get so many prizes. Like, this Corruptor's been around for so long, I can't believe he's going to die here. This Corruptor is still trying to kill that planetary. That's just insane. I have no words for that. MarineLorD is up to 83 SCVs. He still has these bases around the map, and that's consistently been one of the things Reynor's not been able to deal with. Let's have a little bit of a look at what's been lost this game. 42 to 47,000 resources. In terms of units lost, we've seen 63 SCVs to 55 drones going down, 152 roaches. 50 Vikings is actually kind of crazy as well. And those 4 infestors, the 4 infestors that actually made this game viable to go into this stage of the game, to go into this ladder point. Couple corrosive bars coming down. Tanks will get cleaned out there. Nice anti-armor missile hits on a few Ravagers. Again, he needs those Ravagers because he needs to be able to bow down the Liberators. Without them, those Liberators are somewhat untouchable for Reynor. That's why he's trying to keep this Viking count up as well, knowing that if he has the Vikings, he can pretty much always protect the Liberators. They protect themselves against the Queens on the ground. They protect them then from the Corruptors as well. Cyclone lock on. Now he gets a Ravager kill. Roach picking away at a refinery, as we are going to be seeing. This gold base is actually mining out of minerals. It's just these gases have just got so much gas left in them. Again, Reynor, he finally found out about this base, obviously, but he doesn't know about this one now. He has got his own bottom right-hand side of the map, so he has somewhat of an economy, but he's only got 54 drones. And as MarineLorD stabilized with enough units out, Reynor was doing really well here when MarineLorD was all over the place, trying to defend, and it was difficult for him. But now, MarineLorD stabilized. His army is able to hold on. That is making a massive difference as we set up into this. MarineLorD with the big push. These tanks got sieged up and so on. I mean, it's still a lot of Roach Ravager, don't get me wrong. And a lot of the supply from MarineLorD still is in those Vikings, but I just don't see how he gets rid of enough of these Liberators fast enough with Vials. Here we go. MarineLorD presses in with just the Ravagers. The Roaches are trying to go around the right side to kind of flank in. He's actually going to go for the burrow play. Could split up and come up on two different sets of those siege tanks. Here we go. The tanks, the Roaches on the siege. The tanks will fire. Corrosive Valves drop. There's still Liberators in the sky. Burrows again will pop up once more. But MarineLorD not only is winning this fight, but he has a bank to rebuild behind it. And Reynor, after 30 minutes of fighting, taps out on the 30-minute marker. MarineLorD takes it 2-0.